this is Christy, and I wanted to talk about my Bright Line Eating planner, but more specifically, I wanted to talk about my exercise schedule that I have at the bottom. I know several people have asked me how I set that up and what my rotation is, and so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. When I got started doing that, I actually started on May 1st, and I was inspired actually by Debbie from Survivor. She said that she had like this daily regimen of things that she did: 25 pull-ups, 100 sit-ups, sometimes 200, 50 push-ups, 50 deep knee bends, yoga for stretching, and jogging 3 to 5 miles. And that she did this every day, and it took around an hour and a half to do it. And I don't know, I was just really inspired by that because she was like 50 something and I was turning 50 this year. And so I wanted to start doing something along those lines. So I started on May 1st. I decided I was gonna do push-ups, plank, sit-ups, and squats. And a year before, in the spring, I had started doing plank and some sit-ups and things. So my plank was, I could already do 1 minute and 30 seconds on the plank, and planks are really actually pretty tough, and people might need to start with less than that, but these were the numbers that I started with. And during this first week, I did all 4 exercises every day. But I would do it for 3 days on, and then I would take a day off, and then I'd do 3 more days on. That must be, well, I was off. Anyway, it should have been 3 more days on, a day off. Let me see so I have 3 days on, 1 day off. 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on. So somewhere along there, I kind of got my schedule in, and I dropped off 1 exercise per day. So basically what happens, and I put it here on this big calendar to try to show the progression of how these exercises work. So for example, I would do push-ups, squats, and plank, and then that day I wouldn't do sit-ups. But then I would bring sit-ups back, and then these 2 would just move down. So I have sit-ups, push-ups, and squats, and then plank would sort of fall off the list. And then plank would come back, and everything would push down 1. And so I've kind of shown how this progresses through a month, and I've circled push-ups here because what happens is the exercises don't hit 3 days in a row. You can see that it's a while before this same exercise has to be done 3 days in a row. And so what I did was that when an exercise was done for 3 days in a row, then there was a day off, and then that exercise would be the one that fell off the list, so it's not done here. So you had 2 days off, and when I brought that exercise back, then that's when I would up my numbers, and I went up by 5 each time. So you see we have push-ups again here, and now I'm doing 35, and so it lands like 2 days, and then there's a day off, and then it's 1 day, and then there's a day off, and then it's 1 day, and then there's a day off, and then it's 2 days in a row again, and then 2 days off, and then you hit the big 3-day push again before you get those 2 days off again, and then the numbers go up again. So if we looked at anything else here, for example, the plank, here's the plank. So it's, first exercise, second exercise, third exercise, 2 days off of plank, and then plank came back, and I added 15 seconds on the plank. For the other things, I added 5 repetitions, but for the planking, I added 15 seconds. So I don't know, I hope that kind of explains it a little better. When I started back in May 1st, I was at 10 push-ups, minute 30 on the plank, 30 sit-ups, and 25 squats. And tonight I'm going to be doing 50 push-ups, 75 squats, and 3-minute and 45-second plank. And tonight is my night that I don't have to do sit-ups. And so I write it here. I don't have it on a monthly spread. I write it in my lines at the bottom. I use my bottom area for my water and then my exercise. And of course, this is next week. I'm actually going to do a video kind of showing how I set things up for my next week with my Brightline Eating Food Journal. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that made sense. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.